Brian Johnson, better known as the Liver King, was a divisive figure from the very beginning of his career. His claim to fame was the promotion of what he calls the ancestral lifestyle, which sought to replicate the daily routine of our ancient human ancestors. This meant consuming a diet of foods like raw liver, raw bone marrow, and even raw bull testicles. His ancestral lifestyle also applied to his workout routines, which were designed to simulate the physical strain that an ancient hunter-gatherer would.
Sometimes I have this question like, yeah, eating all this raw meat, like, does he? It's not something I've tried before. It's not something I've seen people close to me try before. Like, how does it happen? Does it actually digest like the taste and everything? Like,
Experience during a hunt. Now, the idea of eating bull nuts already made the Liver King a giant meme, but those more familiar with health and fitness believe that Brian was not entirely honest about his ancestral way of living.
There's nothing ancestral about this guy. He's training with high-tech equipment, training properly, progressive overload. I'm going to spoil it right now. I don't think he's natural. Don't believe that. And for all the haters, I want to be clear. I believe that there's more than a 50% chance that he's on PDs.
Brian emphasized a natural and organic lifestyle more than the average fitness influencer, so the idea of him potentially using performance-enhancing drugs would be a much greater scandal than average. Of course, Brian was well aware of this and always rejected the idea that he was using steroids.
Other than the fact that you have a body that you have earned on your own, are you against steroids?
This is what I'll say. I care in the most positive way because when somebody says, "Hey man, you're on steroids," and they've been saying this for 20 or 30 years. I've been working out since I was 8. So as I was in high school, "Hey man, you're on steroids." This is the
yeah, the same thing, like the same pattern. You see this one, like aside from those guys, alpha male that came coming to maybe circles and show you the better life, telling you how they struggle, like from a young age. You see the Liver King get telling you, okay, I've been doing this since I was a kid. To make you listening to them as a young guy, okay, to have the same kind of mentality to say, okay, as he did it, like I will be able to do it. Make you, if you are already an adult, make you feel bad. Okay, you didn't achieve this when you were younger, and that's how personally, that's how I feel like they tend to put it out there. Like,
great compliment. There's a lot of sub-primals that are convinced that Liver King is taking steroids.
Is Liver King natty?
Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these appendages down here, these legs?
Have
Do you
legs?
see how little my legs are? When I was in college, I weighed 175 pounds and I was single-digit body fat.
did they actually eat those meats on the table? I would have loved to go back to this podcast and see what actually
I was 8 or
happened.
9 years old. I had already been working out for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. So now I'm 45. And I've gained less than 1 pound a year over 25 years. So this is what I say to people that make this accusation. If you don't believe this is possible, then I suggest that you take that self-limiting belief, you put that in a box, and you bury that next to all your embarrassing and don't open your mouth about it. Let that live with you. Don't let that live with somebody else.
Notice how he never responds to the question with
Uh, and also the when it comes to the curse word, you see them using curse word frequently, like okay, this, that, like trying to put you in that state. Okay, be like feeling bad about yourself.
no. He only did outright deny his usage briefly one time on No Jumper.
So again, for the record, I've never taken steroids. I'm thinking about doing it.
Despite this, very few were actually convinced that he was natural.
You are thinking about doing it, so
And when you think about it, hardly anything about Brian's life was ancestral to begin with. He lives in a modern house and posts on social media every day, not to mention that he uses real weights, modern workout routines, and even a hyper.
This AI tool will create a stunning ebook direct from your content with a Microsoft Word document.
Hyperbaric chamber to maintain his figure, all of which ancient humans never had, plus a seemingly endless supply of supplements. I mean, just look at him compared to actual people living a tribal lifestyle. They simply look nothing like him. It's amazing what this primal ancestral diet can do for the human body. As you can see, these African hunters all share the same physique as Liver King. People had good reason to be skeptical, but without definitive proof, Liver King
shit, they don't share any the same physique with those guys that I just saw. Let's be sincere, they don't share the same physique. Like, those guys are they are actual guys that live the normal life, and I don't agree with that fact that he shares the same physique with them. Like, it looks much cleaner, much when it comes to the body weight than those guys.
could have just been an anomaly. This would change when he was exposed in a series of leaked emails by a fitness YouTuber named Derek, better known as More Plates, More Dates. These emails were sent before Brian's internet fame and show him consulting with a bodybuilding coach on how to improve his physique with the use of performance-enhancing drugs. He notably emphasizes the importance of fine-tuning his regimen in preparation for a social media campaign to grow his following, and lists out his current stack of performance-enhancing drugs. We also get a look at blood work results that Brian shows in relation to his drug usage. Most damning, however, was the revelation that that Brian had actually previously reached out to Derek, requesting fitness, coaching, and personally revealed his PED usage.
I need to get stronger, have more energy, and get my brain working better, but I overtrain. Approximately 12 to 14 workouts a week and can't stop. I played around with peptides and would like to explore real GH like Omnitrope and others. I sleep well, eat well. I even have a hard shell hyperbaric oxygen therapy, presumably cold plunge, sauna, etc. at my house. I need the next level, which is why I'm reaching out. Can you reassure me that all information discussed, which confidential, presumably will be held confidential?
What once was likely an assumption was now the truth. The Liver King was lying about his entire online persona. He claimed that his body was achievable through the implementation of his ancestral lifestyle and sold many on the lie that they could look like him if they followed his system.
But the thing is that I don't blame the guy. If you were telling him to make it confidential, like you wouldn't have been come online about the whole thing that you agree with on the mail. Like it tends to contradict. Like I wouldn't blame the guy coming out to maybe expose him also. You said so many things in the mail that currently you don't agree with. Is it because you are now influential and popular, like you are claiming or pretending that you never engaged yourself in such a thing before?
Now his system looked like a massive joke, and he had no choice but to confess.
Primal, I'm making this video to apologize because I'm embarrassed and ashamed because I lied and I misled a lot of people.
Brian's apology seems genuine on the surface. However, he continues to lie about many of the circumstances that led him to this point. He claims that he never intended to become an internet sensation and as a result mishandled his online persona. This narrative relies on you not knowing that Brian openly admitted that he was trying to reach 1 million followers in leaked emails.
So in the email, like you already set out his goals. Like I remember this email was sent 2021 and he was aiming to reach 1 million followers by 2022. You see, like he's already planned it out and already stated so many things, and maybe the the other part didn't work out for him. Now he's not saying that he doesn't make use of drugs and what have you.
Before he even started his social media journey. He then goes on to claim that the Liver King persona was a social experiment aimed to inspire others to adopt healthier lifestyles, even if Brian himself was not personally following the same rulebook.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves, the 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form.
So imagine you preaching, like you saying that you are trying to get people out of suicide, you have to get people out of depression and everything, and you tend to lie to those guys again. And if they finally find out that we are lying to them, how do you think that their life will be? Like we leave them worse, like worse than you ever made them. That will be in a worse state than you ever made them. They wouldn't. They would have been better off if you didn't come into their life.
Trying so hard to build a bridge between depressive individuals and his steroid addiction, LMAO. Brian's reputation was completely shattered. Nobody believed Brian's sob stories or deeper motivations, and thus his reputation was completely shattered. He was now nothing more than a complete laughingstock of the internet. While he attempted to return to normalcy following his expose, Brian began to rot as the months went on, both physically and mentally. He notably lost a decent portion of muscle mass due to temporarily quitting the use of drugs to enhance his physique. But more fascinating was his extreme mental decline, in which he broadcasted for the entire world to see. People noticed.
He doesn't look like even the same guy. Like the drugs can even they do have effect. Like he's obviously showing, like since he stopped using it, like you can see his health deteriorating and everything. Like
his erratic behavior as he posted countless videos of himself nonsensically rambling.
Break picture champion. I like to win in life, or if you'd rather be one of those, you know? It's nice to meet you.
His content evolved into nothing more than an archive of directionless vlogs, filled almost entirely of dead air, only broken up with more incoherent ramblings. Brian had clearly lost his mind, although things would reach a boiling point when he was arrested for making death threats towards one of the largest podcasters on the planet. You see, Brian has an unnatural obsession with Joe Rogan, which was apparent long before he began showing any signs of mental decline. Joe even acknowledged that Brian had frequently made attempts to appear on his podcast, although was never offered an invitation.
One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, I'm a producer for the Liver
King. I'm like, what the f do you produce? What are you producing?
Like, how many UFC events did he try and pose you?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas. Yeah, and then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine, and some of them that have, like Bert Kreischer, that had him on the show.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more?
And the truth, if he had gotten to Joe Rogan's podcast, it would have been still be massive for him, and he would have gone a long way, and the controversies would have been something like you would have really enjoyed.
Come on, this is dumb, man. You ran a con game and you got busted.
Joe Rogan's disapproval cut Brian deeply. However, those feelings would devolve into full-blown hatred as his mental health declined further. Brian truly hit rock bottom shortly after the release of a Netflix documentary series about his rise and fall. After a break from the internet, Brian returned looking more disheveled than ever before, with his face caked in dirt, twigs sticking out of his hair, and multiple wounds on his nose and eyebrow. In this video, he acknowledges 3 entities who he believes are trying to destroy his life. These 3 individuals are likely the documentary's creator, More Plates, More Dates, and Joe Rogan. Now he was on a personal vendetta to get revenge on those he believes have wronged him. Brian began openly threatening Joe Rogan, challenging him to a fight and graphically explaining how he would do it.
What I'm hoping is that you, Joe Rogan, are thinking, I'm going to choke that motherfucker out right now. I'm going to choke him out. And I kind of hope that if you win, that's how it happened. You won't feel me tap. That's never happening, tapping. Shame on you. I'm going to make you pay. I am going to actually make you pay. My name's Leonard King. Man to man. I'll pick you a fight with you.
So you see the situation of someone trying to say, okay, he was out to make people's life better, to get youth, younger ones out of depression, and to get them to start living life in a good way. And he came with a good intention actually, but it came with lies. So it came with lies, and after, people will surely get to it, and the truth will surely come out, and you can see him now after maybe the drugs he talks about, maybe he stopped using it and everything, and see his state getting worse and everything. He says things that incorrectly, like didn't even like it looked like he says things without even thinking. So at some point,
I'll come to you whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to go. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to.
yeah, this is bad.
To pretend anymore. All of this has happened. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did.
But Brian took it to a whole different level when he revealed that he was traveling to Austin, Texas to find Joe Rogan and literally kill him.
Just pulling up to the capital of Texas. Guess what? You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Brian began
This is
sending
going
videos
too
to
far.
his Instagram feed all throughout the night, leading up to the next morning when the police arrested him at his hotel after receiving reports of his threats. He was taken to jail but released on a $20,000 bond. Part of his bond conditions were the implementation of a non-contact restriction.
So it usually get to this. You expect somebody like Joe Rogan to just leave you. No. They will surely get to it. Maybe restrain you and keep you in check and keep you in place.
Order, meaning that he could not go near or even speak about Joe Rogan in any capacity. A moment like this should have served as a point of reflection for Brian, realizing that he had gone too far and finally getting the help that he so desperately needs. Unfortunately, that is not the case. As recently as November of 2025, Brian is still obsessing over Joe Rogan, continuing to challenge him to a fight and even taping large pictures of his face all over his walls. This behavior is not normal and continues to make him look extremely manic and or crazy. The cracks in Brian's facade began to show when someone with actual credibility decided to challenge him. Just
Like, you see this kind of thing. Like the guy, the Liver King, we all know him. He was there like as of last 2 years. Last 2 years, last 3 years, last year he was there making content, and I would say, just like we saw in this video, actually had good intention, but it came with lies. And this is where we come to the end of the video. And if you have any opinion and you want to share it, do it to comment, like, and subscribe. And I see you in the next video. Thank you.